Hi guys, this is Harry and Zeke for an interview today. I'm your new host for Alkalize to Realize and my holistic health with Harry. And Zeke is a very cool dude. And I have the pleasure of my first person I'm interviewing for you guys to be in his house and visiting my Shivambu brother. So with that being said, hi Zeke.
How's it
going, bro?
Yeah, very well. Yeah, it's really nice to have you here so far. It's been nice to share this space with you. It's been we've had it booked for a little while now, haven't we?
Yeah, this has been in the works for quite a while, since January, February.
Yeah,
planning on meeting up with each other.
Yeah, definitely. The idea of 2019 for me was to expand consciousness in real time, which is what I like to call it. So sharing this space with you is an honour, brother, because you are most definitely out there, a character in the making. And,
appreciate it, bro.
Learning a lot from yourself, and it's good to be in your space. So, yeah, thanks for being here.
It's all right. And thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know Zeke, you're going to know by the end of this interview. So, with that being said, first question to you. He does do urine, but we're going to talk a little bit about lots of different things today, hopefully. So, diet. Zeke, your position on diet now. Are you fruitarian? Are you vegan? Do you eat meats? What do you believe is health? What do you believe diet is important? All these kind of questions.
Okay. First of all, I'm just going to have to just get it out there straight away. I struggle with labels. Totally struggle with labels. I find it very difficult because I don't like being in a box. And so I'm neither. I'm nothing. I am an experiment in the making when it comes to food. I mean, let's reel it back. At this present, before I was everything. I was eating dairy, meat.
How long ago was that when you were eating dairy and meat?
So it's been just under 2 years. I'm not sure. It's just under 2 years since I stopped eating dairy and meat products. That being said, in that 2 year period, I've had little mini fluctuations, not major, as in drinking milk, but I've had a few products here and there that have had milk in, or egg in. But as a whole, I've definitely converted more as a personal choice, as a general personal choice, because I'm experimenting whether I can have a more fruitful life nutritionally with plants and vegetables. And I'd like to I incorporate herbs and roots as well into that as well.
Okay, so I know you don't like labels, so you're saying you're trying to incorporate more fruits and vegetables. So what we're saying here is, from your point of view, you believe, maybe true, that fruits and vegetables are predominantly a good food to eat. I'm not saying that you want to be 100%. I think you make that clear a little bit. You're trying to incorporate more. It doesn't mean you want to be fully fruit and vegetables. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's, you personally, something you're looking to do?
Yeah, I can say at this present moment I am incorporating fruits and vegetables as my core basis of my staple foods, if you want to call it that. That's definitely where I'm coming from with fruits and vegetables, I believe. Or I feel that I can get the most out of what I eat, let's say, in solid form through fruits and vegetables. But like I shared as well, I'm very much open-minded, and at this present moment, it's definitely based on fruits, vegetables, and I delve into the realm of herbs and roots at the same time. So that's where I am kind of with nutrition at this present moment. It's it's expansive. I'm going to be like it for a while, but I feel many changes happening at this present moment, because there's so much involved. It's just like,
I would like to touch bases a little bit with something I observed today with Zeke, spending time with him. So I saw that you were using the seeds and also the fruit skins. This is very cool. He was using the fruit skins and saving them, freezing them for later to use, but also the seeds of, I believe, was it an avocado? Yes. There was a seed of avocado and something else, mango seeds.
Mango seeds, well, yeah.
How did you use them today? I'm just really fascinated. Like, guys, seeds, this guy, yeah? It's big on seeds, so can you please explain, give the information why you think seeds are important?
Wow, yeah, okay. So apologies if I'm not 100% on point with it, but basically I'm at an experimental stage at the moment, and I'm convinced pretty much that the core of the foods that we eat, we kind of get the best benefits from the seeds. And I've been sort of researching a little bit more as I've been going along as to how I can incorporate the whole of the fruit other than actually just digesting the meat of whatever it may be, the fruit or the veg or whatever it is that I'm trying to eat, basically consume. So I've been looking at the seeds and the benefits of what the seeds can bring to my being, and whether ingested or whether I can somehow use these seeds topically. And today what you saw, I was using avocado seeds, and which I dried out naturally, and mango seeds.
You roasted
and I roasted them off, So I roasted them off. And it's actually my first time. So I roasted them off, and I had this, especially the avocado seeds, they were very interesting. Sharing with you earlier, it was kind of like this meaty sort of smell.
That's right, very strange smell.
But managed to pour out the insides of the seed. It's almost like a seed inside of it. You had a shell, and then there was like a seed inside of it. Same with the mango seeds as well. So yeah, done that and blitzed the seeds up. And my aim is to. I looked at some of the benefits as well, but whether they're true or not, I can only share maybe at a later date when I start actually experimenting with it.
What's your plan to do that, by the way?
So I've got a couple of ideas. The first one that I will be doing is infusing the seeds in teas. Okay. So I'll be adding distilled water. So possibly making a couple of remedies. I might add it with maybe, I don't know, stinging nettle or something like that, or chamomile or something, and just sort of just play with it really. And I probably will try it on its own as well and just see what I'm getting from it really. Sure. So that's my idea. I'm convinced that we can use the whole of the fruit or the vegetable rather than actually getting rid of it. Like this.
I mean, it's very common for people to get rid of it. I've heard of seeds, but I've never heard of someone doing an avocado seed. So I think that the idea that you're coming from, that there's no such thing as waste, is your implication. And we actually talked about this earlier about compost. So you'd put the skins of fruits, and what other things were you saying you put in a compost to give back to nature, to give nutrition to the ground?
Totally. I mean, anything, like you'll find out a lot of people, for example, especially like root vegetables, for example, a lot of people tend to waste the skin, and so that goes into bins or whatever maybe. But actually, a lot of people do this as well. They do chuck their waste back into their soils and they allow it to decompose. And what that does is, it obviously breaks down and allows the soil to replenish kind of, and take in more nutrients and vitamins from the skin, which naturally just breaks down and then betters the soil. So if you are growing things in there, you might not be growing things in there. Maybe the flowers will take the information that's been decomposed in those grounds, and over time it gets better and better. So it's trying to just appreciate how nature works really, because we've kind of been against the grain for quite a while. And my understanding is just, actually I really want to try and integrate using, especially when it comes to food, utilising how I can not just eat it, but how I can use every single part of it to its maximum capacity, whether topically or digesting it at the same time, and then trying to give it back to nature as much as possible. So definitely, I've been 100% on it, but compost, chucking stuff back into nature is so important.
It is, and it's a nice transition actually to something that you guys are probably well aware of, I hope, at this point. If you're not, let's be open-minded here, because it's certainly something that people call a waste product. And me and my brother here, we are Shivambu brothers, and that is the Shivambu of the urine. So, a nice transition, since we're on urine therapy, talk a little bit about something that Zeke kind of is actually on the forefront of. There's very few people talking about this. So we're talking about aged urine, but you're doing something specific. Do you mind sharing with the audience what we're doing specifically with the aged urine at the moment? What you're excited about with that stuff? So.
are you talking more about herbs?
Yes.
Stuff like that? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
so again, this is something just experimental, but I'm attempting to utilize herbs and roots, something that I'm very much into at the moment, and will be for the rest of my life. I'm convinced that actually it's not just the meat of the products that we are eating or using that have all the benefits. It's almost certainly the seeds and the skin, the roots, the herbs that you can actually get benefits from. And I've been utilising this with urine, and I've seen a lot of people, or a few people, should I say, doing it online.
So it wasn't Lee, Ron Wilson.
Lee pushed me forward. I saw a couple of bits there, which is good. And a couple of others. Yeah. And it kind of clicked. I mean, my background of work, should I say, was food and beverage. So I've been in kitchens for a long time. I've played with herbs and whatnot, foods. So it just clicked when I just thought of it, and I heard it. I saw a couple of pictures. I thought, it's a bit of a no-brainer, really. That's just so my brain just went.
This guy's an alchemist. He's I'm experiencing alchemy, so we've got to tap into this alchemy knowledge he's got. So you've been putting in, what kind of herbs have you been putting, and what results and what you felt? What changes have you seen?
Okay, so there's two that I've been playing with at the moment. One is an absolute definite, and maybe at some point I'll be able to add a little bit more information on it. Again, I'll have to share that. It is experimental, but the one that I am super, super excited about is the rosemary and thyme infusion with aged urine. And
how old do you mind? How old is it?
How old is that one? That's a good point. And that's not actually that old. I feel that one of them's about 5 weeks.
5 weeks, okay.
I feel that, and the other one is not too long, about a month possibly. So
not old.
So with the rosemary and the thyme, that's something unbelievable. I can't really describe it unless you've actually smelt it, tasted it, and appreciated its texture that it provides, especially when the oils are extracted from the herbs into the structured waters or our own water.
When you say texture, do you mean topically texture? You can tell the texture's like...
It's incredible. The oils that come from the herbs, and you use it with urine, which is in itself powerful.
I don't mean to be silly here, but you're sure it's amplifying it's not just the aged urine, the power of the aged urine alone. You're getting something from the herbs that are being infused.
I've used aged urine just on my skin, and it's great. But the oils I feel that are being extracted, that are complemented with the urine as well. Again, I'm not saying 100%, but for me, it's just something else. I feel that it's very, very powerful. Not only have I used it topically, I've been drinking some of those oils as well, in small amounts with aged urine, which I find just absolutely beautiful, and it tastes incredible as well. So anyone who has that problem with drinking their own waters or aged urine specifically, depending on their diet, especially if you're not just on cooked food, but just on a diet that's not so great, call it mate. Herbs work fantastically.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, I smelt it. I haven't tried it topically. I had a whiff of it, and you're right. The smell is divine. I have never smelled anything more beautiful in the world. Rosemary and thyme smell great by themselves, these herbs, but with the aged urine, which is supposed to be smelly, by the way, because was it cooked food urine, or was it pure fruit urine?
That's a good point. I'm sure there was
fire water, or
that was definitely more. The majority of it was fruit.
Okay,
but
not
I
fully.
Probably had some cooked milk. I'm not 100% sure. I definitely had some cooked milk.
So you reckon that probably would have been fire water? That wouldn't have been pure. The special urine.
It wouldn't have been completely. No, it definitely wasn't complete fruits and vegetable. No, definitely not. But
for that to come out and that kind of smell, I'm not joking. I'm yet to try what Zeke's talking about. This is like pioneering stuff what him and a couple of people are doing on Facebook, which is and talking about it. So this is why we've got to bang on with this point. It smells beautiful. He's saying it topically, and it's enhancing. It's almost like, I said this earlier to you, you're pretty down with this. It's infusing every single drop of essential oil, whereas I think other ways of using it, like boiling it, cooking it, is not getting all of the medicine from that into, that's what I believe.
Right.
Maybe it is, but this is getting all the aged urine is doing something with all the medicine is going into it and preserving it. Right?
Yeah, definitely. And what I feel is that by using the method of just literally applying it to aged urine and letting it ferment, you're not beating up the herbs, as in you're not cooking them, so therefore they're not being
denatured, I guess.
Or exactly, or evaporating or anything like that. It's literally being infusing in the urine. The urine is in itself a powerful elixir, and you're just applying extras to it. You're just applying. It's just incredible. I can't really describe it. I'm really, really shocked with it. It's just an experiment, like I said, and that's one of them that I've been touching base with. That's in my arsenal that will be there for a long time. Second one I've been doing is, which is in work in progress, is mint, and I've been using that more as a shower-based protocol. And because I was dubious, I work in construction, so I'm outside and I'm around guys. I'm in that slightly ego meathead environment, and I don't want to smell like piss, quite simply. I use essential oils, etc. But I don't want to use those things all the time on my skin. I'm a bit wary of that. So I want to complement my urine in other ways, and mint has done quite a good job with that so far. I need to do a slight tweak. I feel like I might need to use more mint, or I might need to complement it with something else. Not quite sure. Maybe a little bit of rosemary again or something like that. But mint has been quite powerful. Smells great. It hasn't been one I haven't been drinking it, actually. I've been using it more topically, and I've been using others to drink. It's just been my experimental stage with it at the moment. But there are two I've been working on at the moment. And the others, well, I say roots and herbs I've been doing, but I am looking at experimenting with particular, I want to say supplements, but it kind of is, like things like magnesium chloride, for example, copper, perhaps, and colloidal silver. I want to kind of make other elixirs in time, so I've been building up a collection, and I'm going to be making specifics and seeing how I can go with them and just take them kind of on a daily or weekly, or see how it goes. Basically, I'm just trying.
This is alchemy in action, is what we're witnessing here from Zeke. I thought I was pretty experimental, but you've obviously got another angle, Zeke, which we really love and appreciate. Especially if you consider the angle of the smell issue, the aged urine topically, which everyone complains about. Let's be honest, it's an issue not just for you and me, everywhere. We don't want people knowing about having this saying of awful smelling. So even from that aspect, without the benefits of it, just the smell aspect. And honest to God, I can't exactly. I said it once already, but it does smell divine, and it's not just like neutralization of smell. We're talking about a really sweet smell, and
almost
it's crazy.
I mean, I know there's people out there that have questioned about using it to cook with, and I haven't experimented yet, but I can honestly say that I would use that. That smells incredible.
Yeah,
honestly, it smells incredible, tastes amazing. And, I could imagine boiling some vegetables and that quite nice. So seeing how that one works, but who knows? Maybe in time. Maybe in time.
Hey, that leads me on to another point as well. We talked a bit earlier about preserving aged urine as a preservative. What's your opinion on? Is it a good preservative? Why is it a preservative? Could it be the future preservation? What's your opinion on these matters?
It's a great preservative. Obviously, we know that urine in time becomes stronger as it goes along, becomes more alkaline, pH rises as it goes along, and the properties in the urine increase. It's living. It's not just like distilled water. Which is great.
You know how I like to say it can't be killed. You can't kill it.
It's alive, isn't it? It keeps growing, which is just amazing. It's when I was introduced to it and I started studying it, looking at my waters and seeing what was growing in it, I was just amazed. It was like, it was a bit of a no-brainer. It was like, well, this stuff's alive here, so actually how can I almost kind of nurture it, you know, how can I make it be its best, you know, and I started talking to people about putting it in the dark and in sunlight, this and that, and about diverting too much. Yeah, it is a preservative. Like we just shared it, it's alive, and most definitely
the future would be the possibilities we're talking about is like having fruits that never go bad, keeping them in the urine. All the things that we use salt for, we just transfer into aged urine as a future medicine for everybody. And until that happens, people like us have to experiment and start doing these in our houses and preserving with these natural methods. And possibly, maybe, I just thought of it now, like maybe the aged urine is amplifying the nutrition in it. It's getting inside it's not just preserving, it's nutrition from the aged urine, which is multiplying. This medicine is somehow getting into the fruit, they're getting into whether it be the egg the Chinese do or the fruits that you put it in. But it's also not just preserving, it's amplifying the qualities of that product, which is crazy to think about. Do you believe that to be true?
I think there's a huge possibility that could be true. Just thinking about it, I've got bags of fruit skins that I've been saving that you shared about earlier, and that's another area that I'll be diving into, is to not so much preserving them, even though they will naturally preserve within the urine. I know that, I'm pretty sure that will work, but actually extracting the information from those skins and then utilising it within my aged urine, and then possibly drinking it topically now and then, or using it, drinking it, sorry, or using it topically. Yeah, definitely the preservation of foods.
Yeah.
I wonder whether, especially if you're fasting, I wonder if the preservation of foods and using those foods to sort of come back off a fast might be quite interesting as well. Like, my brain's just sort of working, thinking that might be quite a nice.
It would be, wasn't it? I mean, I can see
straight to solids actually.
Doing aged urine, like not instead of going full on aged urine infused with some kind of medicine.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be an interesting experiment. Experiment also would be aged urine, breaking a fast with drinking aged urine. That would be interesting as well. Maybe the medicine might be too powerful at that point. Like, if you think about it, because your body's going to be I don't know, I'm just going through, your body would be at neutral pH or perfect pH. Wouldn't you send it too far with an extreme pH into the danger zone? You'd sort of rank it. Heard stories.
Quite possibly. Again, I feel you're way more ahead of me in this whole fasting game. But I would like to think, my brain's telling me that if you put yourself in a situation where we were talking about this earlier, when we was questioning, okay, how much sunlight can we get? I mean, if you're getting a decent amount of sunlight and you're possibly around water and you're grounding and you've had a relative amount of meditation or sort of balance going on, and I forget the fifth one now, without wind.
Ground and wind, yeah.
Yeah, if you're incorporating all those primary currencies, aged urine might come in hand. It might hurt at the beginning, but it might be quite possibly could be something quite special if you're not so much incorporating those five elements.
Yeah. Going on to something we talked about a little bit earlier, you might like as well. So we talked about aged urine topically, and also the good thing with aged urine topically is you don't have to drink it. A lot of people are averse to the taste. So we were saying earlier about aged urine topically, you said something interesting. You said something that it really lit me up, was you reckon that it's more powerful to do aged urine or urine topically than to drink it. I think that was the implication. Is that correct? Again, I misread you.
Yeah. Again, just my opinion. Everyone knows that the skin is the largest organ of the body. And I can't help, from my own experience anyway, since I've been using aged urine, especially using foot soaps more and more from individuals, that I've seen that really pick them up quite a lot, like Monica and Roslyn. Topically, using aged urine is so powerful. It's so powerful, and the beauty of it is that because it's the barrier between this realm, this air that we're around, and keeping our organs inside. So actually using the age urine and allowing it to absorb into the
body within a body.
Totally, yeah. It's got nowhere else to go but to actually go working internally as well from the skin. So, but drinking it is great. I feel that that's an added bonus. But actually, if you can utilise age urine topically on a regular basis, the benefits are very, very interesting. I've noticed, especially if I'm in the shower and I do my certain protocols, and I get my aged urine going on there with the herbs and stuff. When I'm getting that onto my head, especially my head, wow, it's buzzing. It's buzzing. It's you can feel it. You can feel it. That's. You've got to be in it. You've got to be. It's wearing it for me. Drinking it is very, very powerful for sure, definitely. But I feel that you can definitely utilise it more on the skin, possibly more than drinking it. But that's just something maybe I need to experiment on.
Well, I'm in a lot of agreement with you. And you said something powerful as well that you want to emphasise. It's the largest organ of the body. But I think that what key we both agree on is that with drinking it, there could be avenues, depending on how much you drink as well, how much available to you, there could be avenues of like not getting the medicine in fully to every cell of the body. Sure. Whereas we guarantee when we spend enough time doing a whole body rub, that we're guaranteeing there's no angle, because that's going to seep into the muscles and the skin and the bloodstream.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I'd also like to transition a little bit because I'm doing a lot of nudism, and I think that Zeke agree with me as well. The medicines, whichever we get them, sun, water, wind, grounding. Ground does the same thing, by the way, if you use it in the whole body. Like, I think nudism works because you're exposing the whole body to the magic medicine of the sun, just as age urine rub exposes the whole body to the sun. Yeah. It's why it's such transformational to be as naked as possible, not just your eyes and your face like everybody. You want at least your chest, especially your genitals, but man and woman. You can wear shorts nowadays that are see-through, so you don't have to, not literally see-through, they let the light
in. You have to hook me up, man.
Yeah, they're cheap as well. UK company, guys. So you've got to utilize the medicine available to you. And one of the most powerful is these avenues of encapsulating yourself with light from sun, or encapsulating yourself with aged urine, breathing in mountain air. All these things that we can do are very powerful. We're not telling you not to drink urine. We're just giving you options of really what we're saying is the most power. We're just giving you hacks. What we see as biohacks of like how to utilize these medicines, just like as he's done with the herbs. And it's about amplifying what is already, we both agree, probably one of the most powerful medicines.
Yeah, that you can absolutely. We shared on this, and we both agree that it's, for me anyway, I know for you, that it's the foundation of my arsenal of weapons that I have. Is my own water. Like this, my own structured water is paramount for my nutritional well-being, if you want to call it that. Yeah. And again, going on the whole topical side, like yes, I can consume it, but actually I can utilize it in many other ways, whether it's topically or using it nasally for my eyes. Like a lot of people have been sharing the amazing benefits with beauty that way, and like you said. Topically is one of the main ones for me. It's the foundation. I feel that is like if you're not doing any of the others.
That's interesting. So
the skin, I feel, is the most important.
Very interesting because you all have different things in that. So you're saying you don't have time, go for the skin.
That's the number one for me. Interesting. If you don't do any of them, or don't, the main one you should be doing personally is the skin. That's just my personal.
That's interesting.
You can hit most. You can hit particular areas. Yeah. And so, for sure.
You mentioned something there that another topic that we quite interesting. You said about nutrition. Now, this might be a bit, different to what you're used to hearing, or maybe not. Hopefully, nutrition-wise, what's your opinion on nutrition? Do we need it? Where are we getting it from? Are we getting it from nature? Are we getting it from our own body? Are we getting it from food? What's your opinions on how much we need? Is there more nutrition now available to us than was in previous societies? Where are we headed?
Oh, okay. Well, where we're heading at the moment, and there's a lot of heads out there that I'm very fortunate to have quite a few people that I'm following, more so I'll call them friends, that are more clued up in these areas. But where we're heading is it's quite dangerous, to be honest. I'd like to say there's so much information out there that actually I feel that most people are lost in translation. So much so that you can be told or look up benefits of one thing and look at the cons of one thing, and people's views and opinions. There's 101 different approaches to just one product. And my issue with the information and nutrition today is the fact that there seems to be more arguments on the benefits and the pros and the cons on food rather than individuals, which is a very little amount of individuals, to my understanding, rather than looking at, okay, what is the foundation of what each, because we're all the same, whether you're a meat eater, vegan, or whatever you want to call yourself. There should be a foundation of what we should be incorporating into our diet. So, and that's it's debatable, but I can't help but feel that it's probably more around the regional areas of fruits and vegetables, stuff that everyone can actually have without fail. Yeah. But on a nutritional basis, it's somewhat clouded. What I can say is that the best way to work things out is to, it's a method that I've been trying out a little bit more, because I've been, you have to pick sense out of nonsense, but it's almost sometimes you have to, I revert the way I sort of research sometimes. So if I'm looking to find out about avocados, for example, what I will sometimes do is look at how avocados are bad for you, for example. I'll go down that route and I'll start completing all the crap because there's so much information on how good it is and how sometimes it's easy to just sort of flip it on its head, get rid of as much junk mail as possible, and then you're left with just a certain amount. So nutrition, maybe I didn't clarify too much. Nutrition, wow. You can get lost with it. You have to be your own, you have to experiment. Like if someone tells you, don't eat this or don't eat that, or this is bad for you, the only way you're going to know is if you experiment with your body. And I'm not convinced that what most people say is true, personally, because one person's saying that about the same product and another person's saying that. And again, like I was sharing,
they can't both be right. It's one item. That's
my point of trying to find, which is why a lot of us aren't doing, is trying to find foundation.
It brings us all together.
The platform of what we all should be doing, rather than going, no, this is good, this is bad. It's just,
one of the foundations is what we're going to agree on, and most of the audience here is Shivambu. I mean, that's a great foundation piece as well as priority water, top water that's free for everybody. Everyone can make it. It could save lives. It does save lives. Beyond saving lives, it amplifies the vessel for people that are healthy. None of us really need to be in health, by the way. We're not got any diseases we need to worry about. We do it because we enjoy being amazing and awesome and giving our best selves to ourselves. So one of the ways we can amplify the vessel we all agree on here is urine therapy. It's changed my life from 2 years ago. I'm only here with this fella now. I'm only doing this interview, you guys, and podcasts and working with people because of Shivambu. Shivambu was my in into urine therapy. I don't know if it was how did you get started into urine therapy?
I stumbled across it through a friend of mine, Bobby Toombs, who was some of you may know. He's down with the UT with urine therapy, and I was curious. I've always been quite open-minded. I was like, okay. So I had a little look, and I didn't know anything about it too tough. I researched a bit, and quite curiously, I just jumped on board in Facebook and started looking for groups. And I came across the group that we were in, the Philosopher's Stone, and that's kind of really where my basis kicked off with urine therapy. And I saw that, okay, there's something big here, something's happening. Maybe at that time it's just started kicking off. But
did you not have an aversion to it? Like, was there an initial disgust, or was you open-minded enough already at that point in your life?
Totally open-minded.
Totally.
Yeah, like I was convinced, something clicked in my head. And when I researched a little bit more, like for example, I found out that in the Roman times that they used to tax people for their waters, for urine. Like they would tax, like it was that important. They were taxing people for their waters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I started looking in.
They used to clean as well, didn't they? They used to clean togas with the Roman. They used to lots of things, and brush their teeth with it. The Romans used to brush their teeth with urine as well.
And particular products coming to the modern age now, particular products like lotions and stuff like that, and realising that urea, which is coming from urine, blah, 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 and you're connecting all the dots slowly, one by one. You're just realising that actually there's something being hidden here. Or not so much hidden, it's not being spoken about as much. And once I just delved into it more and more and more, it was obvious, and obviously I've been experimenting a little bit more. I started realising that actually, wow, I hadn't bought, before I even touched urine anyway, I hadn't bought shower cream or anything like that for a long time. I'd been experimenting different other bits, different other ways, mainly relying salts and stuff like that, and using things like bentonite clay and activated charcoal. I've been playing around with other ways, and I started realising that actually what I should be eating, or basically anything that touches my skin, should be stuff that I would be happy to eat. So anything that's touching my skin that I wouldn't eat really should be sort of...
I love that. Like, people have been talking about, that's one of the powerful things that we got to take away from the health community. If you don't know already, you should. Like, whatever you put onto the blood, the skin gets into the bloodstream, and actually it's bypassed the liver. So the liver detoxifies when you put it in through the, so you've got some kind of defense mechanism. You've got no defense mechanism against a poison you're putting on your skin. It's probably one of the worst things you could ever do.
Totally. That's why going back to sharing about putting UT on the skin, I feel is probably the most vital way of getting the best benefits out of it, is because the skin is the most important. It's the one that's having the most conflict with our reality, and it keeps all our organs in check. Without the skin, the body's pointless.
I agree completely. The only thing I'd say and caveat is that it does take time, doesn't it? It does actually to do the whole body.
Consuming, for sure. But I spent enough time wasting my time on other stuff, and again, it's a process. I'm not 100% on it, and I have to dedicate a bit of time to myself to be able to incorporate. And I tend to find that time when I hit the bathroom. So it might be a 45-minute, hour hit, but it's worth it at the end of the day, and it's rewarding because there's benefits, loads of benefits. Yeah. You save money. You do feel better after a while if you allow the protocols to occur on a daily basis, or as regular as possible. And for me, again, it's very experimental. I'm an individual that is very open-minded, and if it is going to work, and it does work for me, like I shared, the rosemary and thyme urine is a hit. That's I could only expect. I only know that because I've tried it, so it's mine, and it's there now. And I drink my own waters as I go along anyway. Just got to be in it. We've got to be part of it. Give it a shot. But yeah, our own waters are vital. It's living, it's live, structured water. It's information that is credited to your body. Yeah. It knows you. It just makes... That being said, I do still enjoy distilled water. As you know, I do make, now and then, I play around with malic acid or magnesium rods.
All kinds of stuff. I've seen his herb cupboard. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch his herb cupboard. Like, there's a lot of experiments going on for alchemists. And herbs are beautiful as well. So one thing about look at it like this, the time taken. I know it takes time to do these things, a whole body rub. It's about self-love. The benefits are there straight away, but you're investing. It's a self-love exercise, the ultimate self-love exercise. So it's not like, depleting your life force by watching porn, which is an instant gratification, non-beneficial long-term. This is something you put a little bit of time into, show yourself you love yourself, and you physically upgrade the vessel. It's not temporary and causing harm to your body. It's more, like you said, one of the most beautiful life-changing protocols, and you can tell instantly that this is working. This is, I think, why we were so dedicated, me, you, and people watching this, because we know it works and we're passionate. It's changed my life and it's changed Zeke's life. And I wouldn't know Lee. I wouldn't know anybody. I wouldn't be going around. We both go around meeting people. We wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't be doing this stuff. I'm fasting now with Zeke. I wouldn't be doing this now. I wouldn't be becoming healthy, the healthiest version. And doing health outside of urine therapy, it opened up avenues. And for me personally as well, it got rid of depression I didn't even know I had. So, it's very common for people. Like, I didn't know I was depressed. I thought I'd fixed depression. I drank never had distilled water in my life. I drank it. First time I drank it, boom, depression gone. And then from that point, I was so excited. I thought my baseline of state is going to change forever. It's never going to go back to neutral. Now I'm going to become it's like being a kid again. You have to learn how to ride a bike at a different state, not a little bit of a state. We talked earlier about too much of a jump,
sure,
being scary. This was kind of like that. It was such of a jump. I had to learn to be a baby again because I had something on tap I never had to pay money for that changed permanently. And this is just fresh urine. This is just, we talk about age. This is fresh, which is obviously less powerful. So it's something I get emotional about. It's such a powerful,
amazing,
powerful substance.
It's one of the most amazing finds that I've been very fortunate to be a part of today. That again, it's there for life, and it's amazingly free. I make it. It's mine.
Yeah.
It's the information that I drink, use, is dedicated to my body. Yeah. It loves me perfectly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it knows all the information of anything that's going wrong in his body and our wrong at any moment in time. There's literally, if you look after yourself, any diseases that are coming up you don't even know about, you just drink your medicine, you've got the ultimate vaccine. We all know here, hopefully by now, that vaccines are the absolute worst. However, there is such a thing as vaccines, and it's called urine therapy. That's the one vaccine that we should all be doing on a daily basis, basically fresh and aged urine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether this is probably not needed, but maybe the individuals that are not so much into urine therapy, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I kind of want to sort of say that perhaps one day you might take the opportunity to experiment. I can only say that, the reason why I've touched base with urine therapy is because I want to love me and my body as much as possible, and the synchronicity with me and my waters just made a lot of sense. And I can't see why anyone would want to deny a beautiful relationship with yourself, with structured water that you create, information-based.
I
can says a lot.
I can see a way that people would like, because if we talk about inorganic organic matrix, then the matrix system is set up so that it has to be set up, in my opinion. Sure. I'm sure you're going to agree that it has to be set up that the sun and sun gazing, sunlight is bad for you, don't get too much sun, but also even bigger than sun maybe is the urine, that your urine's a waste product. Because if it's not set up like that, and it's actual medicine, that means everyone's going to be healthy in society, and that's exactly what the inorganic matrix you talk about does not want to happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll go a little bit step further than that, and use capitalism and probably say, it doesn't work. There's no value in money. Like they can't make money out of it. So it's a big deal. Like if the majority, even 40% of the world, for example, which no one is nowhere near.
Can you imagine
40%
on urine therapy?
World drinking their own waters. That would be
big
damaging.
Dead.
Damaging. Absolutely. Cripple the industry. Right. So definitely from a money point of view, extracting that energy and that point of view, it's powerful. Powerful, right? Well, it doesn't work. It's not fit for business. It doesn't work. But yeah, being experimental, and there are huge benefits. I've heard that some people have used UT and it hasn't worked out for them. And,
Yeah, what's your opinion on that? So people that have used it and you look up to, maybe or don't, why do you think it's not worked for them? Because I've seen it as well.
Again, this is, like we said earlier, there's information. There's so much information out there that actually you'll find that the majority, because there has to be a foundation. There has to be a foundation. There can't be information there that hasn't spawned from something that is true already. Most people are not on the path of the truth. They are kind of in the bubble of that's good, that's bad, that's I'm not really seeking the foundation of what it is, that the essence of what they're trying to achieve, especially when it comes to, well, anything nutritional, whatever it may be. So I can only say and you'll find that most people that, I'm not dissing anybody, but you'll find that most people that say, oh, I've tried this, that, and the other, they haven't tried every avenue. Sorry, it's utter nonsense, to be honest. Like, you have not tried it in every single way and perfected it and done it for a duration of time to see specifically what's going on. You've had a dabble here and there, you've done it for good, but you haven't done it completely. Like, you haven't really put yourself out there and done it.
Interesting.
Like,
Let me challenge you, play the devil's advocate. Let me challenge you a little bit and play the devil's advocate. Say someone is actually generally quite healthy and they're actually at a high level of health, because I think we'll both admit there are ways, outside this foundation, there are ways of being extremely healthy. For example, I'm dry fasting right now, very powerful therapy. Sun gazing, there are ways outside of urine therapy, so we do believe in it. Okay. So say someone's coming into urine therapy from the angle they're really at a high vibration. Do you believe that they might not see the benefits because they're already at such high vibration? Is that possible? Because I actually don't know the answer to this question.
So if they're already
really
at
high
quite
vibration
a decent level,
yes, detox.
They use UT. Well, there are different levels to.
That's why they're not seeing it. They're not seeing it because of that reason.
Well, there's different levels to one's well-being, one's nutritional point of view. Call it, right. We have to appreciate that some people that come into nutrition are coming from a point of view where they need to perhaps they need to start losing weight, and they need to start repairing the body, or bring it further back, bring it a little bit further back. They probably need to go through some detox and cleansing protocols first, which is going to take a beating to the body straight away, because it's like chipping away at all the crap, and then you have to go through the cleansing stage of trying to replenish the body. So going through that stage is going to be a completely different process to someone who is at the stage where they're at a relatively decent level and they need to maintain, which probably Tony's described that quite well in one of my shows a while ago. But you can't comparing with different people is pointless. You can only compare with oneself and see where you're going with that. So I would say, yeah, for sure, that could be a possibility. But I mean, if you are at a position where you have a generally relatively good nutritional foundation, if you want to call it that, going on, then I guess you're probably coming from the space of just actually maintaining where you are.
Yeah.
So urine therapy will probably do its value at the same point. If not, it might take a little bit of time, but you might see that it might benefit a little bit more than just, if not, or it might maintain it quite well, just the same. But maybe someone who's not so great with their diet or nutrition, perhaps you might see the benefits.
Well, I'll speak for myself. Yeah, for sure. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. That, like, people that have worse health states get the most profound changes, including myself with depression, by the way. People with disease states, because it's such powerful medicine. And understand, you're in a disease state, you're in a very low frequency. It transforms. You can feel it more. In other words, you can look at it this way. You can look at it many ways. It's a paradox. You can look at a transformational experience of urine therapy more powerfully, almost, if you have a disease, a problem, or an issue, or depression, because the reference experience of how powerful it was when it removed my depression. When someone has cancer, because God, it cures everything. It cures everything. You know, it really does. With time, it cures everything. It's so amazing. And I wonder sometimes, actually, would you rather have had a serious disease and then had that transformation experience, or would you rather just been into health? And because then you might not be totally into it. I've noticed this, people dabble into urine therapy, and they do it as a dare, or because, you know, they don't stick to the program. Why do you think people they'll try it, but I'm not talking about them thinking it's not working. They know it works, but they just don't stick with it. There's people that do that. They just don't stick with the program.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, and I can say that from my own point of view, I've had moments where I haven't been using urine for maybe a week or so, or I just haven't been that consistent. Again, it's an experiment for one to try, and like anything, It's not unfortunate. It's all like anything. If you don't do something for a certain amount of time, so because your body needs to take the transition, because you're applying something to it, so it'll take time for the body to appreciate whatever's going through it, and then apply it accordingly. It's not just going to take the hits instantly. It doesn't work like that. Some things you may feel a lot quicker than others, but for sure you need to dedicate a little bit of time and allow the body to adjust and take shape, and because the environment that in your body has to evolve, isn't it? So using your own waters, especially from a point of view where you haven't used it before, you've got to take time. You've most definitely got to take time. There's been people out there that have massive transformations, massive transformations.
Many of them that you've seen on this Alkalize to Realize show, they've had on and they're going to have on. So many of them.
Yeah, definitely. It's the opportunity to just take your time with it. I'm the type of individual that I most definitely am not 100%. I probably don't use it enough, like yourself, to be honest.
I'll be honest as well.
To be honest, I definitely use it more topically. And I drink my morning waters, but I don't delve in. It's not my main substance it's not my main source, like I shared. Like, I very much enjoy my distilled waters, and sometimes I create my own structured waters and apply stuff. I kind of go with how I feel with my body. So if I fancy a little bit of colloidal silver, or like you see downstairs, I've got some apple cider vinegar with copper going on. And
you've got the water outside being sun-charged distilled water with crystals inside it.
Yeah, so I have that at the ready, and if I'm definitely enjoying a fruit-based and leafy green, I don't know what diet, but
then I say the word diet.
Yeah, and then for sure I definitely would incorporate my distilled water with that. Sometimes if I feel like I'm depleting a little bit, and I feel there's definitely more to nutrition. It's not primary. It's definitely not primary. There's more things that are primary, especially on an emotional basis. But that's another story. But I like to definitely structure my water. Sometimes I add bicarbonate soda, or I might add some activated charcoal. This is a Bobby Toombs favourite that works wonders, especially on a detox, making that limeade, activated limeade. So that's distilled water, some lime juice, and some activated charcoal. That works wonders, especially if you want to kickstart the day with that. That's beautiful. All sorts.
Well, as you're on the topic of structured water, let me add in something that we spoke about earlier. So sunlight sun charges the water too. So sun charges structures the water too. It does sun charge it. So you can also amplify your vessel. A little trick is so you can structure it, get it out in the air, sun charge it, but also when you do nudism or when you do your skin exposure, because you all should be doing. Sun is so powerful. We both agree on this. Sun is major medicine. When you do this for like 40 minutes, you're also structuring your water. And also, I said to you earlier, it changes, this is geek stuff now, it changes the viscosity of the cell, of the water inside the cell. So you want your water inside your cell and your blood to be thin and viscous, right? Not sticky, as unhealthy. And the more thin it gets inside the cell, the quicker that the mitochondria can turn over into ATP. Because ultimately, when health, in my opinion, and my bias at the moment, which you're aware of, is mitochondria. Because the mitochondria is the powerhouse that gives us the energy. Because there's so many mitochondria in the human body. So when we change the water viscosity by structuring our water, drinking structured water, crystallizing the water when we're getting sunlight on our skin, that viscosity changes and it creates more ATP. And then we have more energy, which is, by the way, the same thing that aged urine gives us when we do the topical application. Health is all about, to me, at the level we're playing at. We're not playing at a level of disease. We're playing at a level of application of the vessel and energy. And what can do that is many things. Sun. Actually, this is a good point to say. In your opinion, what other physical health protocols can we do that are powerful that you've learned so far on your journey that are not just urine? What other things either you want to do or doing that you think are really powerful that are going to give us people the most bang for the buck, in terms of application?
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, 100% you need to ground. What grounding gives one individual is something that you cannot appreciate, especially if you're an individual who has lived in shoes and based themselves. If your lifestyle, you have to sort of check your lifestyle. If you're someone who works indoors, so you spend a lot of time indoors and you're not getting enough light because of your style of job, which, I'm not saying don't sell and change job, I'm just saying check your environment.
So it's like try your best. Try your best in that environment. You can give it your best. Like if you're in a job you don't like, then just do something. Like
Well, yeah,
right?
that's absolutely. It's very important to be in an environment that you enjoy. But what I was trying to get at was, from the grounding point of view, is that you must, and I wasn't doing this enough, and I realised through recent studies of my own, in the last month, literally, that how powerful grounding is. Like it's so important. It's because the grounding is it's infinite. It's an infinite battery. It's charging you up, and you have no choice in it. You know what I mean? You get powered up.
It's funny you said no choice. It's almost like if you put a nocebo on it, it's still going to work. It's that powerful. Yeah. You can't stop it. Right?
If you're feeling shit, or if you're feeling if you're feeling great, you will be charged by Earth's magnetic pulse. Also, with grounding, you'll find that actually it allows you to detox in many ways, and I didn't realise this until recently. Again, like grounding allows it extracts toxins from your body. You can feel it. You can feel it once you're in that process, and I'm sure people that detox even deeper than what I do feel these. I know that if I was to detox more, and especially if I was dry fasting, we were talking about this earlier, that actually, utilising the primary currencies, the air, the water, the sun,
the negative ions,
grounding,
the negative ions,
like you shared, you'd be silly to not allow yourself to be in the environment and manipulate your environment, essentially, so you can actually take in as much energy as possible without having to consume.
Yeah. Do you know, just inject a little bit, do you know how I look at it? So there's positive ions that are harmful and dangerous from the air that we breathe, by the way. And we live in the towns and cities. Most of us don't live in Costa Rica yet. This is for you guys that don't live in Costa Rica. So we're breathing in toxic air, positive ions, but the magic medicine for toxic ions, positive ions, is negative ions. So what Zeke is just talking about is an abundant supply of negative ions through the ground. So you might be inhaling poisonous air, but I completely agree, detox, because it's literally all those negative, the air you're breathing in is getting mitigated by if you ground, even for 5 minutes, by the way. How do you agree on that? Like
yes,
5
that's
minutes,
what I was saying. Like if you're in a job, for example, where you're in an office job, you're not really, especially, and you got to think of the timing as well. If you're missing a great deal of time where the sun is at its peak, and you're in an office, that's going to take it's going to be quite detrimental to your health. And I didn't realise this. I'm quite fortunate. I work outside, but I'm in work boots. So I'm taking in an environment which is nice, don't get me wrong, but actually being able to ground properly, feet to the ground, taking in the energy accordingly.
But it doesn't even need to be. It doesn't even need to be your feet, because nowadays we've got technology. That's the best. But nowadays we've got technology that we can actually be inside and by grounding it. So we can do the grounding mats. We don't want to say to people you have to ground outside. That's optimal. But I've shared this on my videos as well. You can make your own very simply. Go and buy some. You literally go and buy some copper wire. Buy some copper wire. It costs 10 quid, 50 meters. I don't know what that is in dollars. Very cheap. Buy a tent peg, and work out how long you need, and then buy a copper bracelet, a copper ring, which is healthy, by the way, anyway. And then you put the copper bracelet, hook up the wire, ground in your room when you need to be inside. And there's the medicine. And you can do it when you sleep. And you don't need to pay 80 quid for a grounding mat because you just made your own. Like,
that's a great addition, great application as well. But yeah, for sure. I mean, grounding is primary. It's a big deal, like you shared, even if you're getting just 10 minutes. And anyone can do that. And, that application, that's an addition that I would definitely apply. But if you can get feet to ground,
that's
5-10 minutes, That's a big deal, and that will make a lot of difference. Even if you just go in your garden,
Yeah.
or you're on a break and you got a bit of grass on the front, get your feet to the ground, literally, like enjoy it. Allow your body to
you would feel
recharge,
it.
keep doing it.
Do you feel it? You feel it, right?
Feel it,
yeah.
I was very fortunate to have a beautiful weekend just gone, and wow.
Good.
Honestly,
Grounding.
it's like, it's just so powerful and an amazing part of something. So very lucky.
Do you know what I find? When I reach 5-10 minutes is great, but I found when I get to that magic number of 40 minutes, which also science says is the moment where your blood, what was thick before, if you're unhealthy, becomes really thin. At 40 minutes, they do micropsy on the blood. When they do that, I find after 40 minutes, my state, my shift in consciousness is so drastic. Like, and again, it comes back to this whole idea of, I don't think I'm depressed now. And none of us do. But when you do 40 minutes, it's the magic number, you'll just go to another level and you'll get high. Now, I think it's because the medicine takes its time to infuse fully up to the brain.
Yes.
By 40 minutes, it's completely infused into being. By the way, another thing you said about Asian massaging and sunlight nudism, that's activating everything in the body. Now, I believe also, I think you might agree, grounding, there's no place that the negative ions don't get to with grounding. There's no hiding place. So it hits everywhere. It hits the colon, it hits the lungs, it hits the brain, it's the muscles. It's literally one of the most powerful. I'm glad you talked about it, man. That's one of the most powerful protocols that people should do. We got the in here. Sorry about that. We got to talk in. So we'll carry on, transition a little bit. So is there any other ones you want to, anything else you want to mention before we go, to leave a message for people, or do you want to talk? And what's the most powerful? What message you want to
going off of beauty? Things that we can definitely incorporate. We shared this a little bit before. Protocol that everyone should be touching base on. I feel enemas. Did I say it right that time?
Enemas. You know,
enemas.
Joking.
That's something that I've been playing with a lot, and it's very powerful.
Yeah.
There's many beautiful ways to approach it as well.
Even a syringe,
sure,
just a syringe, which might be very cheap, crazy.
So I would definitely incorporate that. I do incorporate that into my regimes, and really, the intermittent fasting is something that I'll be honest with. Recently, I haven't been at my optimal level with it.
How many hours are you trying to aim for?
And what I would realistically like to do, is easily 16 to 18 hours a day. Intermittent fasting, I feel, is quite a nice place to be at. I haven't been 100% on it again, and that's fine. But fasting is very important to definitely try and master in time, and then to incorporate cleansing. That's something that I was sharing a bit more in detail with, or should I say, I follow a little bit more through Mr. Will Lever, and he knows his stuff there with Brian as well. Right. So they're very clued up in that, clued up in that area as well. So definitely learning how to detox, but then also learning how to cleanse the body as well.
Yeah.
Because then food will take a completely different approach on how you eat, because your body will be running in a completely different manner.
Yeah.
So
brilliant.
For sure, yeah.
It's powerful, fasting, cleansing the body. I'm doing one now, 48 hours into a dry fast, so I do love Shirambu, but there's also other methods of fasting besides urine, and we have to be open-minded to these things. And one of them that I believe is most powerful, I'm sure you'd agree, is just to be nothing but oxygen and you and, no Shirambu and no distilled water. You've got to use the things available to you. Do the intermittent fasting, build it up slowly, do from 12 hours to 14 hours. It's not a journey, it's a journey to get to the point where you can do long fasts. It's not a big old rush, because quite frankly, if you do rush things, you're going to end up in a position where you're going to fall back. You don't want to be doing that. We talked about
most people do.
Yeah, including ourselves, by the way. We had this conversation. We ourselves will share with you. You might think, we're crushing on our health, and in many ways we do look after ourselves, but we talked about this 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It seems to be quite common for pretty much everyone in the community, and you've got to be happy with that. You're still moving forward, just slowly, and making mistakes.
Yeah, definitely, and that's maybe for sure will be another topic that we'll be talking about, which is definitely to do with more of a behind the scenes shadow work. But that's another story.
That's another story for another time.
Most definitely, the coming into synchronization with yourself and being able to not abuse the word love because it's over abused again, but trying to appreciate yourself in a more real-time point of view and express a little bit more compassion and joy with where you are at the moment, and definitely being in the mode of action. It's all good reading 101 books, but if you ain't doing anything, then
what is that saying? Knowledge without wisdom is applied knowledge. Applied knowledge, not just knowledge. You have to apply it.
Sure.
And actually, I'll share something with you it's always stuck with me. I don't consider myself particularly knowledgeable compared to even Zeke and stuff. And it's not good to compare yourself too much, but one thing that you can do really well in helping, we all can, it's not really about knowledge per se and how much you know, it's about discipline. I mean, once you discipline yourself, you get the knowledge. So if you can slowly build up your discipline, you won't need to have the knowledge because the knowledge will come to you with the discipline and the things you learn from discipline. So what I'm trying to say is ultimately, it's more important not to know a million things about health. It's more important to do those things about health than to know.
Absolutely,
that's the key, right?
100%. And going back to what we shared earlier, there's so much information out there that actually it's kind of damaging, really, what most people are attempting to try to achieve, which is ultimately the same goal of getting well, being the best spiritual being that you can possibly be. And unfortunately, there's a lot of individuals, even though they mean good, that are out there that have a lot of information that is just slowing people's process down, and they don't realise this.
And killing them, bro.
Because they're not able to look at the foundation. That's where you're trying to look at the core source, not it's too much of that. It's what is good and rolling with that. And you'll find that actually there's a core essence of what everybody needs, and then everything else is just an application, which is fine. That's all good. You can get benefit from everything. But what's the core foundation we're looking for? And that's really what we're here to. I am anyway.
Yeah,
that's my idea, is trying to find the specifics and then working from that. So it's a journey in the making, and I'm very quite fortunate to be on that journey and have very interesting heads.
I'm fortunate to be with Zeke right now, and he's taken a week off work to see me. So it's important as well to try and meet up with people as much as possible. If we give you a message as well that to meeting up with people and strengthening your bonds with people on Facebook, but meeting people is a much more deeper connection. It creates more bonds, and we're going to be knowing each other for a long time. A lot of people in the community. So this is what we want to encourage. To get out there.
Absolutely. I mean, if I can just sort of leave it on this part, but the energy that I'm getting from Mr. Massively is not the same as I would be online. But I can appreciate that energy. I will get some of that still. But actually being in real time with individuals and sharing space, naturally we are acting like batteries and charging each other up.
Of course.
So it's just the way it works, and being able to experience other people's. It's good to reflect. Don't get me wrong, but it's self-reflection is first of all. But it's definitely good to reflect. But it's very important to be around individuals that are on your wavelength, if not slightly heightened on your journey. So you can most definitely take that information and try to apply that as soon as possible or at a later date. So very important. It is good, and we've got quite a few more days ahead.
We have many more adventures to come. So, I'll tell you what, Zeke, thank you very much for doing the interview with us today. I'm glad this is my first one with Zeke, and he's an absolute legend. Highly recommend you meet up with Zeke and talk to him more on Facebook and learn from this guy. He's got a lot to offer. He's also very humble. He knows that he can learn from you as well. So, and to build relationships, whether it be Facebook and real world, is really important for all of us. So, with that being said, hope you got some value from this and enjoyed the video. And see you on the next one. And thank you very much, guys, for watching and spending all this time with us. We appreciate your time, because we know we like to talk here on the Our Price to Realize in this show. So there we go.
On the Skype, yeah.
Right, bro. There's the hug to leave it. We love each other. We really do. Shibambu brothers for life. Real.
Great.